him and I'm at it again. The crystal air calling my name. Down a gravel road, box full of fur, and a mystery in the next steel blur. Catching the first made me a believer. A whole lot of coons, yotes, and beaver.
What a day, guys. What a season. Well, welcome to season 5, fellas. That's crazy. It's been that long since we started this channel. Very thankful for everybody in here, but it's go time. Normally we're a lot colder right now. The grass is a little more dead. This morning, might be able to see a little steam, but yeah, we're coming up on one of our bread and butter locations right here. We got corn on the other side this year, so 2 trails have developed. One going over the top. You can see it kind of wrapping up and around, going right straight up. I'm following the trail now, going right straight up through here. But our bread and butter one is going down through the tube. Kind of a tunnel here. Great 220 location if I wasn't too close to a house. But it's gonna be a little harder to find these trails this year because the grass is gonna be that coversome. You know, it's gonna be wrapped up over the top, make a lot of tunnels. Really good 220 trapping, but otherwise, you know, you really have to get down there and find them. But we're gonna kill some coon here, I promise you that. So anyway, on to the next spot. This location's a prime example of what I was just talking about. Breaking in some new hip boots here. I always try to do that 4 seasons so I don't kill my feet when it's go time. But got a nice tube coming through here. Even got some fresh tracks in it. But you know, you look at this big picture and it's like, where are they going? We got hardwoods here. We got corn. It's up here probably 200 yards across the bean field. But if you look real close, we've got a couple different trails going here. One right through here. And we also got one coming up right next to it on the top side. So a pair of trails. Another great 220 location. You can see a little better right here. If I can get down in there. Definitely trail working through here. Definitely good for probably a couple dog proofs in here, just because we're too close to a house, and I know he has dogs up there that like to roam. So you always gotta play it safe and be smart. You know, we are one foul catch away from losing our rights here in Iowa, so you always got to use your head. You never want to be that guy that ruins it for everybody. So anyway, we're on stop 6, and we're gonna run to about noon today, see how far we can get. Then we're gonna do a little more tomorrow. Pops is gonna ride with me, and hopefully we can get about 1/3 of this line mapped out. So whenever you're doing this scouting and mapping, don't just, if you're in an area you've been in for a few years, don't ever just assume you know where the trails are going to be. I've trapped this road for a couple of years now, and I have never seen this trail before. Real good one here. Goes up, comes right up underneath the cedar tree. Never seen that before. I mean, it's a pretty massive cedar tree, so. But either it hasn't been there before or I haven't seen it. So whatever you're doing, which I got a telephone pole on the other side, but whatever you're doing, don't be afraid to stop and check some of these new, you know, potentially new spots out. And we don't have a lot of grass over here, but you can definitely distinguish the trail coming up right alongside that pole. So matter of fact, you probably see it. I don't know how well this will show up on there, but you can see it. Yeah, you can see it going right to that tree in the pasture ground. So great spot. Still a little too close to the house, so dog proofs it is. So here's a good example. I'm not sure how well you'll see it, but we got a hidden culvert here. Last year this took like 3 coon and a skunk for me. Really good little spot. We had corn up there. This year they've switched it into cover crop. Nothing. There's absolutely no trail. I got down in here and dug around and looked. There's no trail going up through this tall grass at all. So just kind of shows you the power of corn. It's definitely significant compared to, say, alfalfa. You know, beans is all right. I tend to think they're more skunk locations, which is good. And we're gonna set a few more bean locations this year just because of the skunk market. So, but yeah, you know, once they get that cover crop, that alfalfa and stuff, later in the year especially, there's not much point. You might be able to pick up a skunk here and there, but there's just nothing here. I mean, there's just absolutely no trail. I went through and dug and looked and nothing. So moving on. Well, this is a new spot I've never stopped at. Got a nice land trail coming down the side here. What's really impressive is that is just beautiful. Yeah, that's not deer, guys, that is raccoon. Massive raccoon trail. That's gorgeous. Walking across here, and you can kind of see where they're coming up on the other side there. Not sure, doesn't really, I mean, possible for some mink here, but I'd really like to get some better water for some mink. But man, that's a phenomenal coon trail. You cannot beat that. If I do, I might throw a mink set up there where the water's coming through at yet. But not bad at all. I really like this one. Especially me, you know, as a land trapper. That's just gorgeous. It's hard for me to get into this water thing a little bit, but Next Gen helped me out with it a little bit, and we're gonna see what we can do since we actually have water for pretty much the first time since I've been filming. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, you know you're on good sign when you have trails like this through the mowed grass. I said in the first one too, down here a little ways, we just had one by the last pole, so pretty phenomenal. Hope it keeps up. Large chunk of timber and a creek behind me that runs parallel to the road, so this is gonna be dynamite. Getting pretty pumped up, fellas. This is gonna be an awesome year. Well, here we are. We got another really good location that was not as hidden as some, but we got some really tall grass here. I mean, this stuff is probably about growing high. We got corn on one side with timber, and then we got timber with beans on this side. This is one of those spots that I find is good year after year, just due for the fact of if you have corn over here, then we're pulling raccoons from the timber over there. This year we have corn over there, we're pulling raccoons from the timber over here. So every year this is just kind of one of those good spots. It's going to be kind of hard to tell, but you know, we got this trail going up through here, wrapping around. It's going underneath a small fence there, so I definitely know it's small game. Definitely a coon trail. So still pretty dewy out, pretty wet, but we'll get moving. Here we've got a nice wooded fence line. Got a pretty decent trail coming down around where they're coming through the pasture on this side, but they're also going underneath the gate on this side. So what I like to do here when you get two different trails coming out is cross over to the other side of the road, because a lot of the time those trails will join into one. And right here it's just dynamite trail crossing. However though, it does look like we have a second one weaving up through here. So a lot of times these join to one, but not always. And this is, they've done corn 2 years in a row here, I believe, so that's pretty insane. But if this was to join into one, you know, I'm obviously gonna sit on this side, throw a couple dog proofs in, versus the other side. You know, no sense in dividing, you know, never knowing what trail they're gonna come down. If they're always coming down the one trail on this side, then we'd set both here. So this is an instance where we're gonna have to kind of divide and conquer. So probably throw one in each of these and probably pick up some coon. It's getting exciting, fellas. I'm getting pumped up. Here's the exact reason why you got to use your head. That last spot we talked about with dog proofs, I could have thrown a couple 220s in there, but I know the area fairly well. I know there's some dogs and cats running around. Here's a good example of them. I mean, this is literally 30 yards from that trail that we're just on. So always gotta be smart, guys. Use your head. This is an awesome spot here for coyote. Definitely plenty of coon here, kind of two separate trails. But you can see kind of a low spot on the field here. There's a gap in the fence. This is definitely a phenomenal spot. I gotta go up on top of the hill yet and see how far away we are from the house up here, but might be worth 220 for sure, or even a snare in here. So we'll see what we come up with. We gotta check what's around the hill up here. So awesome spot. I hadn't seen this one yet before, so never quit looking. Even if you think you know it all in the area, you don't. I know you guys have heard me preach it before, you know, never be afraid to try new territory. This wasn't planned. This is nothing at all I've ever done, but last intersection said turning right. I said let's go straight. Come down here to this beautiful timber to timber location on a sweeping corner, and look at that. All the way down, comes through. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see that with the sun, but my God, that's just amazing. Too close for 220s, but that's all right. Nice soft mud. Be perfect, get a couple of dog proofs in here. I'm so glad I made that turn when I did, or went straight I should say. We got that culvert there, right there at that pole. It was a phenomenal trail. And I came up here to this pole. She's a beaut, Clark. Make that 4 stops and probably 90 yards. That last pole was perfect. The one past that was perfect. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. Just coming across from a field entrance. So doesn't get much better now, guys. I'm so glad we you know, kind of changed direction, went to a new spot. And this isn't even our planned new ground. We got some planned stuff that's just, oh my God. So perfect. Oh, here we got another cornfield with a little bit of timber on it, but big bottom over there. And this whole side is just kind of full of random trees and low spots. It's pasture ground is what it is. So this little low spot right here, there's not much coming over the top, but I will suspect that going through this culvert is a muddy highway going right up there. Even kind of a secondary trail coming up this side, but that's perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. We've got up to 70 locations so far. Probably gonna do a couple more is all. Kind of wrap up this section 1, if you will, which definitely grew. We're gonna probably be pushing 80, 85 locations on it. Last year it was 50 something or 60, so always learning, always expanding. You can see a nice little, another land trail here too. So, but yeah, getting warm out, at least for me, you know, 65 degrees or so right now. Plenty warm enough. I got some stuff to get done in the shop. Still so much to do. You know, we got traps dyed. We got to make pogos yet. Work on a few other things. So probably head that way here shortly as soon as we get this first section wrapped up. But I am excited, guys. This is getting me motivated as hell. This is just great. Let's go.